get this up. So Denzel said, and this is going to be one of two, so at the close of the day, I'm going to read another one, so prepare yourself. So, in this book about the true definition of success, he writes this, and I suppose he's in a good place to make these comments. At the end of the day, it's not about what you have, or even what you've accomplished. It's about what you've done for those, with those accomplishments. It's about who you've lifted up, who you've made better. It's about what you're giving back to your society. So today, as we go through our conversations, the presentations, and I know that our first speaker, our keynote speaker, Judge Peter Herbert, has been hanging online for a little while. But I want to thank the speakers of today prior to them stepping into the forums and to do their presentations today. But as they pull this whole thing together, I'm going to just give us some thoughts, and I'm going to pull on your thoughts at the end of the day about your thoughts about how you think this day has gone, and then feed that into the next conference. So I'm going to go first to Peter Herbert. It's on the screen. So Peter, thank you for presenting, and thank you for being here today. And I'm going to hand over to you to lead us out with the keynote speech. Put your hands together.
We applaud community engagement. A lot of my time is spent in community engagement. But one of the things that we're very, very concerned about is this idea of legacy. After all is said and all is done, what are we leaving for the next generation in particular? And we did some research about 4 years ago. We're asking ourselves the question, where are our museums? Where are our archives? Where are our galleries? Where are the institutions that we have in order to preserve our legacies? And it was that really stimulated the need for the National Windrush Museum. The story goes, and I always tell the story, I was on a beach and walking, and I was on that beach because my mum had just passed, just before COVID. So it's really, really deep emotion.
Leah, you could come forward. Could you give a big hand, please?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the invite. So I'm Councillor Leanne Igbon. I represent the Hume Ward in Manchester. I'm also the executive member for Vibrant Neighbourhoods, which has responsibility for 10 different areas. Sorry, just let me clear my throat. One of them being neighbourhood, bringing neighbourhoods together and neighbourhood services. Yes, please. So I'm very proud to be of Nigerian and Irish descent. My grandparents came from Dublin and Lagos in 1939, and we've been in Manchester since 1947. My grandchildren are of Jamaican descent as well, so I've got a mixture within my family. I am a youth and play worker, that is my background, and I've been a community activist my whole life. And in 2015 I decided to stand as a politician, and the reason I decided to do that was because I wasn't happy with decisions that were being made as a councillor, and many of those involved young men, especially black men, that were involved in the criminal justice system and were facing long sentences and involved in joint enterprise murder. And I just needed to make a difference in a different way, and sometimes you have to do that by joining politicians so you can change policy. So I met Anthony a few years ago, and I've been involved with the Windrush Defenders since they set up, since this scandal, and he doesn't leave me alone, and I literally mean that.
120 million has been paid out, when they say about 200 to 500 million. We've paid out in 2 years, so I'm figuring, wow, there's something wrong here. Either the scheme's not structured right, or it's not addressing what it should be addressing. And I mentioned earlier about the Windrush Lessons Learned review, and it says in recommendation 1 that the government needs to accept that the African Caribbean community are British, nationality issue. But here we are talking about immigration all the time. We're not immigrants, we're British. And so the Windrush Act would seek to amend British nationality law, not immigration law, British nationality law, so that the various hurdles that were put in place when the 1981 British Nationality Act was passed will be taken out for people from the British West Indies, not from the whole world. We're looking at the British West Indies because of the data that we've seen, and I talked earlier about the people that are most affected. So the law was actually designed targeting those people. The Historical Roots of the Windrush Scandal report came out on September 24 and said that. We took the government to court to say that, and they, said, oh no. But then later reported that, yeah, it was. Anyway, so what the Windrush Act would do would amend that law, amend the Windrush Compensation Scheme Expenditure Act 2020, and make it possible for organisations that are tackling these disparities that have been caused by the kind of attitude and philosophy that designed the law across education, across health, because they weren't just thinking of immigration when they made.
Family that have been involved,
There were some good prison officers in there.
People are so hypocritical when it comes to things. I remember a week before we did the shoot for this film, I was in my room on Teams with Danny, and there was an incident outside my house. This guy got battered. I stopped it because, he was in the wrong. If it was me, if I was in that position, I would have battered him. Yeah. No, because he must have robbed something from the house or something, But he got battered in. So anyway, the police came, like about 10 police cars.
I was on FaceTime seeing them.
Yeah.
And I was like, record this because this isn't a film.
Yeah. So.
In the exact same place.
And then the police came up to me and said, and to all of us, did you see anything? And we know.
That's what I'm saying.
That's where the curtain thing came from.
Yeah. But it wasn't like instinctively I said no. It was like, when I thought about it, I still would have said no because of the guy, I mean, one day I caught him, I was in the living room and I caught him trying to get into my house. Do you know what I mean? But I just told him a few nice words.
Sometimes you need just the community and someone to care though and say, come on, stop, instead of I'm going to phone the police, and then that builds the relationship. Anyway, as you said, the policing comes from the community originally.
But, I mean, the hypocrisy of it.
He was half the tape, right? It took place exactly where we filmed the police, and it was exactly a week before.
Yeah.
And all the neighbours were just.
Everybody was like.
It was like, is she wanting to play on? Like, she is.
Yeah, no. Like the police said, did you see anything? No. They didn't really see anything. This time the guy, I mean, he got some serious beating. I had to stop the guy to, what he was doing.
Instant reaction was just to say no to the police.
But I was more concerned about the guy that was doing it. What would happen to him?
Oh right, the guy who gave him a good idea.
Yeah, I was more concerned.
So it's the moral kind of high ground of
Yeah.
somebody committing a crime, and then your humanity kicks in and thinks you can't have that much of an idea. Right in my face.
What is that? It's alright, it's a dead fly.
It's a camera.
She wants permission.
The thing is, the actors that lining it.
Alright, but you're still getting the whole room.
With the gimbal as well. That's cool, man.
to turn it around, all you have to do is just, you can do it there.
Oh my boy, I'd love that.
Yeah, so it's the DJI Mini 3, so that's what it's called, Pocket 3. Yeah. So if you want to tell him to get it, and why are you here today, please?
So hi Winston, I'm Anita Bailey, I head up the Windrush unit in the Home Office.
Right, and why are you here today?
Why am I here today? So I am here just to hear more about from communities what race disparity means to them, to listen to community voices, to hear about what their experiences are and how collectively we can try and influence change.
Oh, thank
It's just been part of the conversation, I think. And I think it's even if you don't have all the answers, I think just being part of the conversation is important.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And why are you here today?
I'm Munib Hafiz. I'm the Deputy Director of the Race Equality Unit in the Cabinet Office.
So could you explain to our viewers exactly what that consists of?
Sure. So it's a team in the Cabinet Office that has a twofold function. One is to provide advice for teams across government working on policy that might have bearing on racial inequalities to help refine that policy. And secondly, to collect the most accurate data on the disparities that exist and to have a bit of a think about what to do with that data.
What made you want to get into that position? What made you want to get that job?
I mean, before I joined government, I was an academic, and I was very interested in histories of struggle, particularly in the UK, and the way that those struggles connected with struggles abroad. And you know, my first job in government was working on gambling addiction, and then this job that I'm doing now sort of marries up those two aspects of my professional history. So that's a short story.
Thank you ever so much. Respect for that one. Nice one. Thank you.
Oh,
really
no,
quick.
I don't
no,
want to
go really quick.
Honestly, I don't.
No, come on. You're a police lady.
I am.
And where are you based?
So my name's Nikki, I'm a police officer and I'm from Lancashire Police.
Okay, thank you very much, Nikki.
Okay.
And why are you here today, Nikki?
I'm here because I want to learn more about our communities and the challenges that they face and how we in Lancashire can do things better.
Oh, thank you ever so much, Nikki.
Thank you
Look
very
after
much.
yourself.